We are going to have a fun little chit chat with our higher selves. And I also want to teach you guys a process, a very quick process that I learned from Sonia Choquette, who is a very prominent teacher of the intuitive. And I really love this process that she teaches because it is so immediate. And I think that's something that many of us are looking for in spirituality in our practices of like, what's something that I can do right now that's going to make a difference? What's something that is efficient that I know is going to support me in that shift when I'm overwhelmed, especially as the holidays are coming up, when I might be surrounded by other people, or I might only have a little bathroom break to get that regulation in. So I'm going to teach us a process that she likes to describe as a method to get to your white intuition. So it's fast and it's sturdy and it's really efficient, and I love it for that. And because she uses it to get to this space of white intuition, I also want to address her kind of context of what these three main forms of intuition are. And of course, if you guys have been studying intuition, spirituality, working with me, you know that there are a bajillion types of intuition. So I want to cover kind of her little realm and world of how she's separating them, and then really focus on this one very impactful, very quick method to get into a quiet state of mind. So we're going to jump right into the types of intuition. We'll then prepare with this practice, and then we'll go into our deep inward journey. And we'll talk a little bit about what you might want to address with your higher self. If there's anything that you might want to get advice from your higher self around, a question that you might want answered, so that I can weave that into our practice. So I'm going to plant that little seed for you to consider as we start to talk about the three different colors of intuition that Sonia Choquette talks about, and then learn her little practice. So she talks about red intuition, green intuition, and white intuition. And white is the one that we're going to focus on today, but I want to give you a little overview of how she breaks them down. So red intuition is, like the color red in our society, a stop sign, a stoplight. And this is often safety, survival based, the you're being watched or don't go down that way. Again, intuition is not fear based in the sense that, like, it's not giving you these panicked, like, oh, that's so scary, that's so heavy. It's just a general, like, okay, when the little person's no longer on the walk sign and it's a red stop, you just stop and wait. And then when it shifts, you can shift. So that is her version of red intuition. Green intuition is our creative, our try this, our do this, our inspiration. And then white intuition, which I'm going to help you get into the space of today, is all about that connection to your higher self. And so white intuition is this quiet state of mind. You have to be in a quiet state of mind for this to be able to come through. For those of us who work with mediumship, channeling, guides, a clairaudience, clairvoyance, pretty much any of the clairs, a quiet state of mind, or the primed and prepped space for white intuition, is going to be the most beneficial for us as we're desiring to reach and receive. White intuition is really supportive to cultivate the space, because white intuition is space based. When you create that container and you invite your white intuition to come through, that is going to be the most potent, beneficial. And for a lot of us, we get into this process of rapid fire where you can start to channel quite a bit. So because of this, a very quick, efficient practice for getting into the space of white intuition is bomb. Use this little practice whenever, if ever, and to do it regularly without the pressure of always asking a question or needing an answer, to just drop into this space. So we are going to practice this together really quick right now. Sit up. We're going to create some space for our chakra system. And as we're creating space, we're going to come back to that little question of, if I truly could have my higher self sitting in front of me, what might I ask them? What piece of guidance would I love to have? What burning question would I love answered? For those of us who work with tarot, this can be as specific as a question that you might ask a tarot deck. It can also be as open as, what could I benefit from hearing? from seeing, from knowing, from learning. So, as we just allow our awareness to come into connection with a potential question, and we elongate the spine and start to create more space for our energetic system, giving your energy room to move, allowing the chakras to start to spin in a healthy fashion. I want you to identify 2 to 3 things about the self right now, with the eyes closed, allowing yourself to drop into connection with the present moment. You might identify the sensation of glasses on the face, the sits bones on a chair, the heat or the air around you, the sensation of a sweater or sweatshirt, the purr of a kitty cat, the sense of hair on your shoulders or back, a hat on your head, a ring on your finger, a necklace on your chest. Taking a moment to identify, roll over in your mind 2 to 3 things that are present, that are affecting you, touching you, in connection with you. Bringing your awareness to the present moment, becoming aware potentially of your breath, of your monkey mind, describing it easily, quickly, just what you feel, what you sense, what you see in the mind's eye. Feel the difference in your body after you've identified your 2 to 3 things. Now I'm going to ask that you press your tongue to the roof of your mouth, just behind the teeth or up on the palate. Now, while holding your tongue in position, we are going to breathe out 3 times as if we are blowing out candles. This will take a stronger breath, an almost audible breath. I encourage you to feel the rise and fall of the shoulders as we do this. Pressing the tongue to the roof of the mouth and breathing out our first time. Making sure that we part the lips and feel and hear the breath escaping the mouth around the press of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Breathing out for our second breath. Once again, pressing the tongue to the roof of the mouth and breathing out for our third time. We will now relax the tongue from the roof of the mouth. And on our next out breath, we will ride the slide down by making this sound. Ah. Joining me with this audible sound, envisioning yourself riding down the slide of this sound on your out breath. Ah. One additional time, encouraging yourself to make the sound. Ah. Sitting in stillness and in quiet, reflecting upon the ease with which you got to this space. Now asking yourself that question. And offering yourself presence, awareness. Hmm. How does that feel? This starts the process of creating space, cultivating a channel for your white intuition to make itself known. As you start to come back into this place, back into this space, wiggling the fingers and toes, opening the eyes as you are ready, I ask that we each consider how that worked for us. If you were able to drop in, if you witnessed a difference in the spaciousness around you, if you were able to quiet that monkey mind for a moment or more. The first time I tried this practice, I was blown away by how efficient and yet how simple it is. Elongating the spine, creating space. A lot of times, Sonia does this activity with eyes open first and asks people to identify 2 to 3 things around them and just describe that out loud or to themselves. I tend to do it with eyes closed for those of us who have worked in deeper practice before or are used to our deep inward journeys. I find it very telling what the mind's eye allows us to picture and keeps from us. Also, the style or the genre or theme of what we identify can be very telling. The 3 breaths with the tongue pressed to the roof of the mouth and then riding the slide. Love that you started getting downloads. That's amazing. And it's fast, it's efficient, it's easy, and it's so potent how much it clears out so quickly. It's also something that you can do more than once, over and over, if you're choosing to sit down with the intention of receiving or with the intention of downloads. And that for me was something really potent. This practice really honors the masculine aspect in me that's like, but I want to do it now and I have 5 minutes or I have 15 minutes and like I would really love to like check that thing off my list, but I want to do it in alignment. That this practice can be used several times in a few minutes to constantly and consistently come back to that quiet state of mind to train your channel to be open. So, for those of us developing skills like channeling, like mediumship, like connecting with our guides, expanding different clairs, this is a really potent practice that you can take out of that toolbox and really use as a drill to come back to that clear center point. So now that we've asked that question and we've dropped in for our deep practice, our extended inward journey tonight, we are going to be bringing our higher selves into our presence, engaging with our higher selves, and potentially asking our higher self some questions. So if anyone would like to share the question that they would love to ask their higher self, a topic, an area of discussion, I was very excited to share this particular practice with you because it's not a lot of movement and it's not loud yelling. It's very peaceful and gentle. And for you and I, a lot of our nervous system regulation practices take some aggression, take some movement, take some almost violence to allow the cracking open of those big emotions. And so this one in particular with just space, tongue, breath, and slide. And we're like, yeah, right. There's no way that's gonna like what. And then I look around and I'm like, damn, like, okay, like a slide? All right, like cool. That and the first time that I tried to do a 5 minute oming practice regularly every day and was like, 5 minutes of oming, like, what is that going to do? And then afterwards, I was like, I'm high. Like, I am high on my own supply. And like, this is as good as them good drugs. And like, that's a lot for me to say that. So I really was very excited for you to be able to participate in this little practice. So I'm excited for more downloads around nervous system regulation in a very gentle way. I said, what do I need to know most right now? What do I need to focus on most for 2024? I said, I'm desiring to get more clear on my medicine offering, what it is, what it might look like. Beautiful. So, as a practitioner, how do we see ourselves? Which younger versions of myself or events in my past do I need to focus on revisiting to heal right now to show up as a more loving and thoughtful partner? Beautiful. Don't
Um,
don't pick between them. Offer all of them and just see what comes through. Because when we go into that space with the higher self, a lot of times we can offer so much so fast because our higher self is so much more capable. They can hold all of us. So anyone that comes through, we almost get to embrace the monkey mind even more of like rapid fire, let all of those like what might normally be anxiety ridden just flow out to them. And our higher self will choose all, one, none, something different, but like, let it all out. Ask all of them. Tell us about all of them. Thank you for using your voice and articulating them. So frequently, we'll have all these questions, and before a practice, we're like, yeah, I've got so many. And then we get into that space, and we're like, what were those questions? What did I want? Like, how was I saying that? What was I? So, being able to articulate that puts that out into our vibrational reality in a way that allows our human to chill a little bit more. So now that you've spoken it, now that we've witnessed it, now that it's in our collective vibration, it will be even more present for you. So just your presence will naturally offer those questions to your higher self and will allow you a lot of times to receive feeling, understanding, language around them. So thank you for mustering the vulnerability to share all of those because I know how hard sharing is. Being honest about all the things that we would love to answer and how potentially confused or without direction we might be feels sometimes like we're validating that and we're like, I don't want to validate that I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, but letting it out allows us to really like place it and a lot of times starts the shift for us. I in all the time and we joke that GPS only works if you're like actually getting in the car and getting picked up at this location. You have to be honest about where you are to get somewhere else. And so that authenticity of voice is really potent for starting the process of shifting into something new, receiving an answer. So thank you, thank you, thank you. um said what I need to do to bring abundance to my online business. How can I show up as my higher self more often out in the world? How can I show the universe that my heart is open and that I am ready for my partner? Beautiful. All right, guys. If everyone's had the chance to share, I'm going to encourage you to find your comfortable spot. For some of you, that might be turning out your lights or covering your eyes. That might be lighting your candle or getting tucked up in your blanket. You guys are more than welcome to pull your video if that serves you best. Stay on video if that serves you best. But we're going to be dropping into our deeper space of practice. So grab your cuddle kitty or cuddle puppy and get ready to go inward. I invite peace into this space. I invite peace into this place. Shanti. 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 Now I I settle in. Now I deepen. I welcome my higher self. I call my higher self to me. I allow my human to start to fade into the background. I allow my physical temple to start to get heavier and heavier. I feel the heaviness in my toes, like they are sinking into the sand deeper and deeper and deeper at the edge of the water. With every wave that moves around my ankles, my feet sink deeper. With every wave that encircles my calves, my feet sink deeper, deeper, deeper. With every wave that circles my knees and reaches my thighs, I go deeper and deeper and deeper. I go down and down and down. I go further and further and further. I am getting heavier, heavier, heavier. The relaxation and heaviness moves from the tips of my toes and the bottoms of my feet over the tops of my feet. The relaxation moves through my ankles and calves and shins. The entire lower portion of my body is heavy and sinking. The entire lower portion of my body is dissipating, melting, getting fuller, further, farther. My thighs and hips and pelvic cradle now filled with heavy sand. I am going deeper and deeper and deeper into the recesses of time and space. I am moving so far beyond my body. I am bigger than my body. I am witnessing my fullness start to identify itself at the edges of my temple. I am more than just my mind. I am so much more than just my body, so much more than just my mind. My stomach starts to become heavier. My rib cage starts to become heavier. My heart starts to beat slower and slower and slower. I start to sink deeper and deeper and deeper, fuller and fuller and farther. I allow this weight to move through my entire vessel. I welcome in my higher space. I welcome in my higher place. I create a sacred container for my higher self to make themselves known. I consciously cleanse and clear this space as my body sinks deeper and deeper and deeper, as my breath starts to slow down, as my heart starts to slow down, as my brain waves go deeper, deeper valleys, higher peaks, deeper valleys, higher peaks, down, 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 up, up, up. Om, om, om. And in the space that I create, what can be released? Sweeping with a broom through my very self and place, washing away with water, smoke cleansing, burning what no longer aligns. What can be released from this vibrational place? What can be released from this vibrational space? Witnessing, seeing, envisioning, picturing, exploring your inner space. feeling the body start to dissipate. The throat is heavy, the chin is heavy, the cheeks are heavy, the arms are heavy, the fingers are heavy, the back of the spine is heavy. I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm floating down, down, down. My eyes are heavy, my forehead is heavy, the hairs on the top of my head are heavy. I'm sinking through my chair, I'm sinking through my bed, I'm sinking through my very body. I am bigger than my body. I am so much more than my mind. I am spaciousness in general. I am spaciousness in truth. I am space and time. I start to shift from the third dimension of my body and mind to the fourth dimension of space and time. I am space. I take up space within space. I am time. I take up time within time. I am time. I am space. Elevating, floating, experiencing, surrendering into the fourth dimension. I am space. I am time. Sinking into the spaciousness in our very molecules, in our very cells, in our very atoms. I am space and time. I am the emptiness within the matter, the visible matter that is almost true emptiness. I see my inner space. I see my inner spaciousness. I take up space. I fill my space. I am in the fourth dimension. I am space. I am time. Decorating my inner space. What colors do I choose? What textures do I conjure? What scents do I call in? What flavors do I love? What sounds do I hear? I see my inner space. I am my inner space. I decorate my inner space. What colors are present? What textures do I feel? What scents do I smell? What flavors do I taste? What sounds do I hear? I see my inner space. I witness a bright white light. I witness a bright white light. I witness it in color. I witness it in texture. I witness it as fragrance, as flavor, as sound. I can hear the light. I can taste the light. I can smell the light. I can feel the light. I can see the light. And in the light, I start to witness something forming, as if it's being written, written in the light, written on a chalkboard, written on a whiteboard, written in a notebook, typed into a tablet, typed into a phone, written in fireflies upon the night sky, written in the stars. My higher self's name is. My higher self's name is. Looking, witnessing, feeling your higher self present in front of you. Receiving your higher self's name. Releasing the doubt and the fear, and just allowing. What is my higher self's name? Do you hear it sang in a song? Do you witness it drawn in a piece of art? Maybe you see the item or place you are named after. Maybe your own hand is writing it in beautiful scripty letters. Maybe the fireflies dance upon the night sky, informing you of your higher self's name, their chosen name, our chosen name. Maybe it illuminates as if it is written in the stars. What is my higher self's name? What do I call you, higher self? How do I refer to you? And if a name does not come to me, to you, to us, I consciously choose one. Or I use my given name, my birth name, my nickname, what I call myself. And I call to my higher self. I call to my higher self. I ask for support. I ask for presence. Together we explore the space, not just in the visuals of the space that we created, but the space itself, feeling into space, the space around you, around your body, around your mind, the space that your energy takes up, the space between you and your higher self. How does space feel? Reframing emptiness, feeling your higher self here. I am bigger than my body. I am more than just my mind. I welcome in my higher self to this space and place by name. Do we mesh? Do we merge? Are we one? Are we now at the mainframe in the control room? Are we being carried by our higher self, sitting upon their shoulder, resting in their arms? Are we hand in hand? Are we in the space of the third eye? Are we less than human? Are we more energy, more essence? Do we take a different form? I feel my higher self here. I am bigger than my body. I am more than just my mind. I welcome in my higher self to this space and place. I mesh, I merge. We are one. We are at the mainframe in the control room. We are being carried. We are sitting upon the shoulder, resting in the arms. We are hand in hand, finger in between finger, in between finger, in between finger, palm to palm. We are in the space of our third eye. We are less than human. We are more energy, more essence. We take a different form. Now we ask for support. In sacred unison, we hear our higher self speaking as our human self. We witness our invitations. We hear them, we see them, we smell them, we taste them, we become them. Higher self, I am so grateful, so thankful. I am deeply appreciative of your presence, offering the name. I call you by your name. Thank you for coming when I call. Thank you for guiding me and offering to me. Thank you for my signs, messages, and synchronicities. Gracias, gracias, gracias. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessings, blessings, blessings. I invite you in. I invite you in. I invite you in. I welcome you. I welcome you. I welcome you. I ask for your support. I ask for your support. I ask for your support. I allow your guidance to find me and flow through me. I allow your guidance to find me and flow through me. I allow your guidance to find me and flow through me. I am listening. I am looking. I am feeling. I am listening, I am looking, I am feeling. I am listening, I am looking, I am feeling. I am tasting, I am smelling, I am intuiting. I am tasting, I am smelling, I am intuiting. I am tasting, I am smelling, I am intuiting. I am willing to allow. I am willing to allow. I am willing to allow. I am willing to surrender. I am willing to surrender. I am willing to surrender. I am willing. I am willing. I am willing. I am open. And in this spaciousness, in this sacred spaciousness, in the emptiness that is not emptiness between my matter, in the space that is more than a body, in a space that is more than a mind, in a space that is pure soul, a space that is pure spirit, a place that is pure, a place that is pure, a space that is pure. I offer my practice, pressing the tongue against the roof of the mouth, breathing in, breathing out. Reaffirming the tongue at the roof of the mouth, breathing in, breathing out. Pressing the tongue to the teeth or the palate at the roof of the mouth, breathing in, breathing out. And riding the slide, breathing in. Riding the slide, breathing in. Riding the slide one final time, breathing in, breathing out. Higher self, share with me how to regulate my nervous system. Higher self, share with me my downloads and musings. Higher self, what do I need to know right now? What is most prominent, prevalent, potent for me right now? Higher self, what am I being called to focus on most for this coming year, for 2024? Higher self, I am desiring more clarity on my offerings, my medicine work, myself as a practitioner. Show me, guide me what it is, what it might look like, how it might feel. Provide me with the words and sensations. Help me move it through my vessel and allow it to be birthed into the physical world. Higher self, which younger versions of me are calling to me? Which parts of my body house their memories, their stored stagnations, their heaviness? Higher self, what am I being called to revisit, to heal? What am I being called to let go of, to release? Higher self, how can I be more loving, more thoughtful as the sacred embodiment of partnership flows through me? Higher self, what do I need to know? What do I get to know around work? Higher self, what relationship messages are coming to me, are meant for me? Higher self, what is next? Higher self, what do I need to bring abundance to my online business? Higher self, what are the messages What are the offerings? What are the ways in which I can share myself with the world? Higher self. How do I exist in a constant state of overflow from crown to root, from mind to body to soul? Higher self. How can I show up as you, with you, more often in the three-dimensional world? Higher self. How can I show the universe that my heart is open and I am ready for my partner? Higher self. What does an open heart look like, feel like? How do I create the spaciousness and openness and deliciousness to be the love that I seek? How do I collapse time and allow it to manifest, materialize in my physical reality? Higher self. I am open. Higher self. I am available. Higher self. I am listening. I am looking. I am seeking. I am searching. I am seeing. Pressing the tongue to the roof of the mouth, breathing in and out. Holding the tongue to the roof of the mouth and encouraging a stronger sound. Breathing in, breathing out. Pressing the tongue to the teeth, to the roof of the mouth, breathing out one final time. Relaxing the tongue in the mouth and riding the slide 3 times. Breathing in. Breathing in. And one final time with sound, with beauty, with radiance, with potency, with ferocity, with fun and play, allowing our inner child to ride the slide. Breathing in. And in the spaciousness, we welcome our answers, our messages, our downloads, our musings, our pathways. As I bring my hands in prayer mudra to the center of my chest, and as I bow the wisdom of my mind to the sacred, infinite understanding and embodiment and being of my heart, I express such deep gratitude for my higher self. And I bring my hands, left hand first, to the heart, right hand on top. And I hold a part of my higher self, first in my energy, witnessing my higher self weave and merge and blend and dance and sing, flutter and fly and float through my energetic body. I bring this into my mind, feeling my higher self shift my synapses, shift my electrical impulses, shift the very fabric and texture of my mind and subconscious. And as I allow this to move through my physical body, I witness my higher self in my cells, in my blood and in my bones, in my muscles, in my tissues, in my very fibers. And I make this experience even more sacred by holding these parts and pieces of my higher self in my human self right now. I am so grateful. I am so thankful. Ever so gently, ever so slowly, bringing awareness into the tips of the toes, bringing awareness into the top of the crown, allowing awareness to cascade through the mind and through the body and through the energy until the fingers wiggle and the toes curl, until we allow ourselves to come back into our bodies, joining me with open eyes when you are ready. How are we all feeling? How are we all doing? Mm. Amazing, amazing, amazing is good. So good. I'd love to hear from you guys if anyone was able to receive an auditory message, a visual message, if downloads started to come through, if some of your questions started to form into solutions or answers or pathways. Just an acknowledgement that that is the direction with which you started to move allows you to hold those directions and allows them to continue to crystallize and form as you move beyond this container. My eyes were fluttering like crazy. Beautiful. Yeah. I love when I go into rapid eye movement and my eyes start to flutter when I'm in deep practice. Thank you so deeply to each of you. Such beautiful, potent, vulnerable, truthful work, a willingness to be and see in a new way. And said so many messages, revealing so many ideas and possibilities that I had no way of ever considering otherwise. That was wild. Yay! Said I channeled Archangel Ishmael. I don't even know if that's an archangel. That is definitely an archangel. He said, "Be still, child. You have done the work. You are in service now." Damn, girl. That's beautiful. Let's write that down. Said reminds me that I'm a channel. Gosh, I forgot. Yeah, when we are not cleansing our channel regularly and it's so mucky and murky and has a lot of shit in it, it doesn't feel like a channel. And when we clear that out and we realize, like, oh, I can be an open vessel and receive. I don't have to come up with it, I don't have to create it. I can receive and be willing to just be given the answers, be given the solutions, be given the pathways. My higher self reassured me I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Beautiful. I saw a lot of purple, more than messages. So, purple is the crown chakra, which is a connection to source, which is the message that, like, in doing work like this, you are getting closer and closer and closer to source. And a lot of times, your messages come through as just like deep embodiments of, like, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm just like this now. I do this now. I am this now. I'm aware of this now. Like, this is a new thing forward. So, a lot of your becoming is a vibrational becoming. And so, you were experiencing it as a visual, but like we talked about in the practice, we can see light, but light is not just light, it's an actual vibration. So you are becoming the vibration of purple, which is a wavelength, which is a vibration, which is a specific frequency, which is connection to truth, God, absolute oneness, totality, which is the infinite source of understanding. So all understandings that you're placing in questions are now starting to become vibrationally present in your energy field, just simply through a color. Universal love. Said my higher self showed up as a gold light and she stepped into me so that I was glowing gold light. Oh, I just got like all the Athena vibes of like both coming out of the mind and coming into the mind and just like radiant, glorious, golden magic. Ooh, purple and gold. Guys, this is so good, so potent. Thank you so much for sharing. I love hearing how everyone experienced that practice. Thank you so much for joining me. I want to let everybody know that next month in our Vault Access or Waters, the membership, depending on which membership you have, we are going to be talking about the self and how to kind of take stock of who we are and who we want to become. All of those of you who are already in my offerings, you guys will be given the chance to continue forward at the rate that you're at. I'm going to continue Vault Access next year, but the price is going to go up to $111 per month. So those of you who already have a payment plan with Waters, paid for the full year, or are already on Vault Access, you guys get to stay at that rate. So I will check in with each of you and make sure that if you're not already on a continuous payment plan, that you have the option to get in at that rate so that you can stay with me for next year if you do so choose and desire. I also want to let everybody know that I'll be running the I Am Mastermind at the beginning of 2024 again. We do have three people who have been through the I Am Mastermind in here. So the I Am Mastermind is all about the conscious creation of self, both the practical and the energetic, of how do we take stock of who we are right now, and instead of trying to find ourselves and eat, pray, love, we're going to consciously create the self. Remembering the self is important, but choosing to consciously create the self, I have found, is even more impactful and even more potent. So it is going to be a 3-month container, 3 calls in the month. We also have text messaging access. It's a powerful, potent community, and it is a deep, profound way to transform into this higher version of self, both through practices like this that are very energetic and esoteric, but also very practical habit, neurolinguistic programming, EFT, conscious observation, going into the subconscious, marrying both of them back and forth, and even more than just the practices and the tools and the community, the personalization. Because nothing matters if it's not implemented and integrated and aligned for self. So just like when we try to learn meditation or we try to go deep inward journey, it only matters if it works for you. So much of the magic of this work is witnessing everyone's different process and fine tuning yours and going, I want a little of that and a little of that, and I'm stuck here, and allowing me to support you in such sacred depth with that work. So I'll be talking more about it. If you're curious, please let me know. All those of you who are already involved in our offerings get special rates and get to snag your spots early. So thank you so much for being here with me. I have one final question for everybody. Do we have anybody here who has a November birthday? At the end of our sacred online gatherings. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you needed it. So those of you, if you have to jump off, you are more than welcome to, but we're going to spend a little time showering with love. So would you like a tarot card reading? Would you like an energy clearing? Is there anything in particular that would be supportive that we could offer you right now? A collective manifestation? What, especially after this practice, could be beautiful and supportive for you? Okay. So anybody who needs to jump off, you are more than welcome to, but anybody who wants to offer the support of being held, this sensation of being held, what you guys can do is you can vector yourself to her. So wherever she is on our little screens, you can vector your body to her. You can open your arms to her, or you can just allow the space that I'm going to create and be present for that and amplify that. That might be holding yourself in white light. It might make yourself available to what I'm going to be leading. Or those of us who are also energy practitioners, you are welcome to include and offer your own. And you get to sit either with eyes open if you want to see what everyone's doing, or if you want to close your eyes and sink into that. We're going to spend a few moments holding you and offering the energy of you being held. So I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to describe my energetic process for you so that both the mind, the body, and the energy can witness being held. First, I drop into the space of my heart, and I offer from my heart a sacred vibrational tunnel from my physical body to your physical body, moving through space and time and anchoring between us where we are in the world, collapsing space and time until I am physically present with you, mentally present with you, energetically present with you. And I ask you to stay your vibrant self, your full self. And I grow and expand both in my physical space, in my mental space, and in my energetic space until I reach a point of being able to gently scoop you up like a tiny little baby, yet still honoring and holding your fullness. And in my arms, I pull you close to my heart, and I allow the sway of our bodies to move as if we are suspended in space, as if we could sit on a cloud. And I hold you close to me and offer the warmth of my sacred self, the warmth of my heart. I offer the warmth of our community and the intention of our collective to hold you. You are held. You are held in body, amongst my arms, against my heart. You are held in mind, the softness of the clouds and the brightness of the light, holding both the most high vibrational thoughts and the stressful, anxious, trepidatious ones, being held in vibrational essence. Two vibrations holding the same space, one holding the other. And as I encourage you to breathe deeply in through the nose, filling your vessel with chi, with prana, with life force, with energy, I offer you the intention of being held, being held, being held. And as my arms return to my sides, I place you gently down, delicately, softly, from a space of heart to heart. And I bow my third eye and I bow my heart to you. And I follow this tunnel all the way back until I am physically present in my own space. Close this connection with sacred love and sacred light. And I leave the whisper on the wind. You are held. You are held. You are held. And when you are ready, coming back into this place, back into this space, witnessing the community that loves and holds you. Happy, happy birthday. I'm so glad you could make this one. Thank you for asking. What a beautiful, beautiful way to use your voice and to have that infinity loop closed of ask and receive beyond the ask could even consider. Thank you. Thank you to each of you who stayed a little bit later to hold that space and to offer that vibration. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see all of you guys soon, and happy birthday. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.